What's up, gurus? It's your boy Pablo, wishing each and every single one of you a happy Sunday. Today's video is going to be us talking about the works of one of the great writers of American history, the legendary Ralph Waldo Emerson. In particular, we're going to be talking about his essay called Self-reliance, and it is a really beautiful read. And so I'm going to read just a particular section, and we will talk about it, unpack it, and talk a little bit about why I felt the desire to read it. But before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the gurus all over the world who are already following us on our socials. But if you're not already doing that, be sure to do that at Ask a Guru app on X and on Instagram. And also subscribe here at Ask a Guru TV. But most importantly, y'all, download Ask a Guru or sign up at askaguru.com so that you can share with the entire world your favorite music, books, movies, and TV shows in the form of collaborative lists. And in doing so, you will receive from the world the most awesome, life-changing recommendations that you're going to love. Because here at Ask a Guru, your taste is the world's next obsession. And I already have seen the amazing power of Ask a Guru. In just this past weekend, I watched The Lighthouse, which was a recommendation from Sunday Limes, who was last week's Guru of the Week. And also, Sunday Limes turned me on to La La Land and the Lamp Band out of Japan. And that is an excellent band. And so I've been so influenced by you, the gurus, and I love it so much. I look forward to seeing what you post. And of course, you will too receive the most amazing recommendations. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to reading an excerpt from Emerson's Self-reliance. And in particular, I am going to read the final paragraph, which is beautiful. And then I'll find another section and just read a line because I think it's very beautiful and profound. And so the last paragraph of Self-reliance by Emerson goes: So, use all that is called fortune. Most men gamble with her, and gain all, and lose all, as her wheel rolls. But do thou leave as unlawful these winnings, and deal with cause and effect, the chancellors of God. In the will work and acquire, and thou hast chained the wheel of chance, and shalt sit hereafter out of fear from her rotations. A political victory, a rise of rents, the recovery of your sick, or the return of your absent friend, or some other favorable event raises your spirit, and you think good days are preparing for you. Do not believe it. Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Nothing can bring you peace but the triumph of principles. Gurus, what a beautiful paragraph. And so I will read it again, and we're going to unpack it. We're going to talk about what that means. And of course, I would love to know what you think it means in the comments. But I will go ahead and read it again now. So, use all that is called fortune. Most men gamble with her, and gain all, and lose all, as her wheel rolls. But do thou leave as unlawful these winnings, and deal with cause and effect, the chancellors of God. In the will, work and acquire, and thou hast chained the wheel of chance, and shall sit hereafter out of fear from her rotations. A political victory, a rise of rents, the recovery of your sick, or the return of your absent friend, or some other favorable event raises your spirits, and you think good days are preparing for you. Do not believe it. Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Nothing can bring you peace but the triumph of principles. Emerson is such an important American philosopher, poet, mind, an important mind for the world. Because in Emerson has, in his words, the ring of truth, of honesty, sincerity, no matter the age. In many ways, I regard Emerson a prophet, a holy man who wasn't trying to be holy. He was a mind who opened up his eyes to the world and said what he saw as he saw it with his own sacred mind. And that's really at the heart of Self-reliance, this work, this wonderful essay. He's just talking about how you should rely on yourself, that you should value your mind, you should value your own thoughts and not be pushed around by the crowd. And so I felt like reading it because in the morning, this morning, I wouldn't call it like a depression or a melancholy. I just didn't feel upbeat, and I felt like some philosophy, some poetry would help. And somehow I just was led to Emerson, and it did the trick. I immediately felt better. And I posted on X, I said something to the effect that if you're not feeling as upbeat, nevertheless take the actions of a happy person. So I greeted loved ones. I played a record. I read some philosophy. In this case, I was reading Emerson, and I felt so much better after that. Genuinely happy. And in some ways, I felt like that was tied to this self-reliance, in the sense that I took ownership of my current feelings, and I did something to impact my own state of being. And in that way, I believed that I was being self-reliant. And so Emerson ending with these lines here: nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Nothing can bring you peace but the triumph of principles. I felt like it rang so true, because here I am at peace. And it was in many ways born out of this self-reliant attitude of, hey, I'm going to do something to lift my spirits. And yes, nothing can bring you peace but the triumph of principles. And many principles there are in the world, but I feel like one of those principles is the fact that you are the master of your ship. And so if you take ownership and action and move yourself in the right direction, if you chart the sails of your ship in a particular direction, that principle, that self-agency, and seeing the sun rise as you move in that direction, and the rays of the sun hitting your face, I feel like it just rises in you, that feeling of yes, peace, all is well, strength, joy even, happiness even. And so, in some ways, I believe that happiness exists, but also more important than happiness is, am I doing something for other people that is useful? Am I being true? Am I being good to the people around me? Am I being a healthy member of society, of a family, a good friend? And if I'm doing those things, it's almost even more, that's more important than happiness, whatever that is. But nevertheless, I felt the triumph of principles in taking the agency, in reading this work, taking happy actions, listening and enjoying art. And so Emerson almost never fails. It always hits the spot. What a blessed American poet and writer. And so I hope that you enjoy this reading. I want to leave you one more line from this truly spectacular work. Such a beautiful work it is. And here is another line that Emerson ends this paragraph with. He says, to the persevering mortal, said Zoroaster, the blessed immortals are swift. I will repeat. To the persevering mortal, said Zoroaster, the blessed immortals are swift. Yes, to the persevering individual, the blessed immortals are swift. And so what I feel like that means is, if you're going through anything, persevere, and the universe will send help your way. And so fight, have that spirit, persevere, show that strength, that self-agency, and these principles will work for you. That help will come. And so, again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I loved reading this. So poetic, so wonderfully philosophical, so practical and empowering and helpful, ultimately. And that's what Ask a Guru is all about. You may have never heard of Self-Reliance by Emerson. You may have never even heard of Emerson. Ask a Guru is to share what we love with the world. And if there's anything that you think that we should read, go ahead and post it on the app. We will find you, we will reward you, and you'll also get the most excellent recommendations, more like what you posted. And also, let us know what you think about this reading. Did you enjoy it? Did it speak to you? Do you want more of it? Every Sunday you can expect some poetry or philosophical reading, and I always look forward to these. And I really love the community that we are cultivating. We are building a community unlike any other, a community that loves art, that sees the value in connecting with people who love to share art. And together we are going to build a community that can move the needle positively for the great artists, and there are so many, and we need a curation house, the house of curators, that is Ask a Guru, the house of the lovers of art, that is Ask a Guru. And so we welcome and we love your support. Please tell the whole world about what we're doing. Be sure to subscribe here at Ask a Guru TV. Follow us at Ask a Guru app. But most importantly, download the app or sign up at askaguru.com and post everything that you love so that we can enjoy and make your taste the world's next obsession. Till tomorrow, peace, Gurus.